Hey, it's Amy Pittman with Pittman Law Office. If you did a revocable trust with us, or we updated your revocable trust, we discussed funding your trust. And if that sounds new to you, make sure you pull out your binder and look at the very front of it. Inside the binder, there's going to be a sheet that says funding. And then there's also funding instructions in the back of your binder. If you did a revocable trust, the purpose of a trust is to bypass probate, which means you're responsible for connecting your assets to the trust. How do you do that? You have to tell the bank. You have to tell your financial planner. So if I have an asset like a checking or savings, I have to tell the bank, hey, I have a trust. That way that they ask for a copy of my trust, they'll ask for a certificate of trust, which is a summary that you have in your binder that identifies the name and date of the trust. We very rarely connect qualified accounts to a revocable trust. Qualified accounts are IRAs, 401ks, tax-deferred accounts. So we have not paid the income tax on it yet. When we take funds or monies out of those retirement accounts, we are paying income tax on those. Very rarely do we put IRAs, 401ks into a trust. There are very few times situations that would work, like in my case, in Audra, we have minor children and they cannot legally own retirement funds until they're 21. Well, what happens if Josh and I die before Elle and Reed reach 21? So we would have to connect our trust to the retirement accounts. But that's not ideal. So if we gave you special language, which we would if we told you to name the trust as a beneficiary, then you would want to make sure you update that with the financial advisor. Also, if you ever have questions on funding, if I prepared your estate plan or Audra prepared your estate plan, email us directly. Our cards are in your binder. Our emails are on the card. We're both really good with email. Or call the girls at the office. Our paralegals can help to a point because they have notes in the system that Audra and I wrote regarding your estate plan. So if you created a revocable trust, you spent the time and the money to go through that process, make sure it works when you die, meaning you have to have assets in the trust or with the beneficiary designation in order for us to bypass probate. If you sell your house and you buy another one, you have to make sure you tell your realtor, or in this case, most of the time around here, it's a sales agent, that you have a trust so that they have you sign the contract for purchase as trustees or your name with an enhanced life estate deed to your trust. So again, having a revocable trust, you have to make sure it's funded. It's kind of like you doing the job ahead of time. You're trying to make it easier for your kids or your loved ones or whoever's going to be in charge by you connecting those assets to your trust prior to your death. And Audra and I will say connect because there are some places where we're going to name the trust as the owner. And then there's some places that will not let us do that, but they'll let us name the trust as the beneficiary. So as long as it comes into that bucket, I know you see Audra talking about the trust bucket a lot, as long as it's in that bucket when you die, or if you're the last spouse to die, then it's not going to go to probate and your successor trustee will have access. Okay? Hope that helps. And again, this is for clients of Pittman Law Office who have revocable trust.